you for being with us today. Different doesn't mean less. We've got to
Different
get
doesn't
that.
mean less.
Different doesn't mean less. So, do tell us. I mean, you literally just woke up one day and said, "I'm going to be a hypnotherapist," right? I mean, it's just you were
No,
born that way. How in the world did that
no.
come to be?
Yeah, I'm an accidental coach, actually. Um, I think that everything that we have, that we're doing is purposeful, that God has given us talents and strengths and things that we're naturally good at. I was, one of my superpowers is communication.
Mhm.
So I grew up in this family of 13 children, and in order to get your needs met, you got to be heard some kind of way. So um, I struggled with communication a little bit a couple of times in my life. I developed a stutter at one time. So it was things that I had to overcome. And having a daughter um, who was born at 24 weeks. She was 1 pound. So
Wow.
all the things that she had to deal with, or we worked together through as a child, um, and her communication, um, it was just as crazy. I was just say to God, I'm going, so I get the communication skills and she gets none.
Mm.
So I had to learn how to help her. So all these classes that I took, all the courses and everything that I read, it was just filling me with knowledge. So I used that knowledge to become what I do today. So it
Mhm.
wasn't just this one day and said, I'm going to be a coach and I'm going to be a hypnotherapist. It was all the things that I acquired through my lifetime. So 30 years plus of
Mhm.
information, to motivate myself to help my family.
Mhm.
And when you get all of this information, what do? You either write a book, you teach it,
That's right.
or you speak about it. And
Mhm.
I decide to do all three.
All three. All three. And that's where the
Yeah.
resilience, mindset, and communication came in. And that's your area. Those are your areas of expertise.
Yes. Yeah, that's where I work in. Those are my superpowers.
Those are your superpowers, your secret
Yes.
sauce, right?
My secret sauce. Yeah.
So, resilience. Well, being the ninth of 13 children, that in itself makes you resilient. You
Yeah,
couldn't
girl.
do like me. Food could sit on the stove all day long. And I was like, do I want it? I might want it. If I do want it, I'll go get it. You're like, I got to get in there and fight for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If there was food.
Wow.
If there was, because many times it's just like it was whatever the was in the pot that day. It's like
Mm,
mom made a pot of chili or dad made a pot of beans. So
mhm,
that was it. So it was, what do we have? Do I get it today? So and it wasn't just with food, it was with different things, in my life. It was with, do I get time with my mom, uh,
mhm,
to hear what's going on with me?
mhm.
Do I get new shoes or whatever that is? I think people may look at me now and it may seem accomplished to them, but they don't know what humble beginnings I came from, those things that made me resilient. So when people say, I can't handle this, I look at them and I go, really? I go, so you can't handle losing your job, really? And then people go, I can't handle my husband left. And I'm like, really?
Right, right,
I'm just like,
right.
because we have so many obstacles in life. Just
That's it.
every year there's something. You know, so we had a concentration of it in 2020,
Mhm.
but that's stuff that goes on in our life all the time. So we're more resilient than we think we are. Everyone is, not just me.
Right, right. And so that's one of the things that you helped to uncover, right? Uh, the level or the capacity of resilience for people through your hypnotherapy and the power of the mind. That's, of course, our topic today. And where did you harness that idea that your mind, that you could do things and that there was power in the mind? What does all that mean and what inspired that?
Again, it's just saying that resilience, mindset, and communication are my superpowers because as a child, I had to learn to keep going. And where does that come from? You
Mhm.
know, you have to keep going. So as a child, I could stay on the porch with the little kids and color and play jacks, or I can say, I want to go with the big kids and jump rope or ride my bike with them. So in order to do the bigger things, so this is my kid mind. In order to do the bigger things, I had to have a bigger mind.
Mhm.
So when they told me you can't, you know, if you fall, nobody's going to go back there to pick you up. You
Mhm.
know, if you're gonna be with the big dogs, you need to be with
You gotta
with
hang
the
with the
big
big
girls.
dogs. Yeah.
So it's like that with everything in life. If you want to hang with the big dogs, you got to have a mindset that is resilient. That if
Mhm.
you fail, so what?
Mhm.
Just keep going. You lick your wounds. You know,
Right.
you have a day of whatever that pity party is, and then you keep going.
Yeah.
So your mindset is everything, which is why I created this mindset membership, because I
Mhm.
teach mindset over and over and over. When I'm putting people in hypnosis, it's all about talking to them about correcting errors in the
Mhm.
mind, the things that they believe that they can't do or
Right.
believe that they are. And
Mhm.
I just want to open up their head and go, none of that stuff's true.
Do you hear anyone there? Anyone there?
There's stuff in there. Trust me, there is stuff in there, and so my job is to help people through hypnosis, and hypnosis is a tool, and I love it because it's fast. Like
Mhm.
people can have breakthroughs in a day. You know, I take them through 8 sessions
Mhm.
because we're peeling back layers of
Mhm.
memory, emotions, and beliefs, and then it takes repetition to change those beliefs. But that's what I do. I love hypnosis because it's a really fast tool. It's not the only tool I use, but it's one of
Mhm.
the most prolific ones.
Wow, wow, that is just tremendous. I know I've had the pleasure of, I've never, of course, been in one of your sessions per se, although I think we always have sessions, right?
We
So
always have
we
sessions.
always have, I guess we do always have sessions, right?
Yeah.
Y'all have to get a mastermind buddy like I have. I mean, Dee is my mastermind sister, and it's always an up level. It's always, you are always opening my mind and helping me see things beyond what I see. And you're always seeing my blind spots. And so in terms of that's when we talk about power of the mind, that's the power. You stretch my capacity, right?
And
And
you
my
do the same
beliefs.
for me. So just know that this is for everyone. No one, I am not off the table of learning from
Mhm.
anyone. And that's the power of the mind. It's like you're constantly evolving.
Mhm.
So when you change something, something else appears. So
Mhm.
when we have our mastermind sessions, like I'm open, and trust me, I have those days when I'm just like, you know, and Pam, you're like, girl, can you see this? You know, one day we'll talk about, you know, the session you and I had, or, you know, a little bit ago when you were just like, you know, when you just back and looked at me and you could feel the energy that's
Mhm.
coming off. No matter what I'm saying, I'm just saying this, but you know that there's a mindset that needs to be changed or triggered,
Mhm.
or there's something that's been triggered at me. There was something that was triggered in me that I was defending. So I was defending that mindset, and you saw it. You were
Mhm.
like, and we were on Zoom, and you leaned in and you go, D. So so Pam, you're a mindset coach. You know, I
Is
know
that right?
entrepreneurs, but entrepreneurs are not going to make a dime if they don't have the right mindset.
That's right.
Do I
That's
get an
right.
amen on that?
Amen. Amen. But I will tell you on that day, girl, I wanted to take the earrings off. I was like, you know what? Meet me outside, girl. Meet me outside. Right in between San Antonio and
Yeah.
Dallas. Meet me outside.
Yes, yes. Yeah, but you brought me in and we switched that mindset and I solved that issue too. to
Mm,
solve that
mm.
problem. But
And you,
it's just like that. Sometimes we can't feel it. I mean, we
mhm,
can't, it's not tangible,
mhm,
but it's so profound.
mhm.
But the thing about the mind is that it can be changed like a switch,
That's right.
flipping it off and on when you understand what's being done or what you have to do. When you
Mhm.
surrender to you surrender that shit's not working. It's not working.
Right.
Why am I defending it?
Mm.
Why am I holding on to it? What am I getting from it? What do I really want?
So Dee, do you think it's fear that people hold on to those old beliefs and that mindset? What is that all about?
Much of it is fear, and a lot of times it's fear of judgment.
Mm.
It's fear of yeah, it's fear of judgment. Most of the time is how what are people going to think about me,
Hmm.
and which is guilt, and then what do I think about myself, which is shame.
Hmm.
So it is when you don't want that. And I remember you and I talking, I was just like, mine was fear of judgment of I'm not doing something right.
Mm. Yeah.
Because I knew I was doing my best
Right.
trying to get this one project moving with this person that just wasn't working in my life. So, and you were going, why are you still doing this? And I'm like, I was defending my choices
Hmm.
and the fear of being wrong in those choices
Right.
was so big or so prolific that I couldn't see that this is not the way to go. You don't
Hmm.
have to defend those choices. What would happen if you let it go? And I think when we are working through fear, if we say, what's the worst thing that could happen if you let go of the fear,
Hmm.
then if we see that it's not as bad as you think it's going to be,
Right.
then you
Right.
can let the fear go.
Wow. Wow. That's some good stuff, Dee. It really is. And being an entrepreneur, of course, as you well know, it is not for the faint of heart. It is not for the faint of
No,
heart. And
no.
you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready. You gotta be willing. You gotta put your big girl underwear on and get in the ring, right? And
Yeah.
so Norman Vincent Peale, of course, he is the father of positive thinking, and he said this, and I wanted to get your feedback before we even began to talk about the entrepreneurship. But he said that he actually wrote The Power of Positive Thinking, a practical guide to mastering the problems of everyday living. Back in 1952, it was a self-help book by Norman Vincent Peale. And it provides an anecdotal case history of positive thinking using a biblical approach and practical instructions, which were designed to help the reader achieve a permanent and optimistic attitude. So even back then, he he saw that having a positive attitude, there was something to this thing called positivity and optimism and having a positive mindset. And what's interesting that as I kept reading about Norman Vincent Peale, he was not popular. And he also taught that using techniques that involved affirmations and visualizations were paramount in achieving this mindset. So, can you talk to us? Since 1952, I mean, this has become a, I don't want to say a wave, or it's been like a tsunami of learning to uncover the mind and positive thinking. And you have shared so many affirmations with me. You have your own, of course, your membership that talks about positive mindset. So can you just share a little bit? I know if Norman Vincent Peale were here today, you would say y'all would have a lot to talk about because this is your area of expertise.
Hmm.
So talk to us about that.
So I haven't read his book, but I did read Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, which was before his.
Mm-hmm.
Napoleon Hill's book was in the 30s.
Mm.
So and it's all about attitude. And then after that came The Secret. So all of those are about manifesting what you want through the power of your mind and the power of your thought. People think that the secret is all about manifesting money or I got to get this car, material things. But it is about attitude, being happy and grateful now, and the mindset of your daily life. So Napoleon Hill, Norman Vincent,
Mm-hmm.
and Norman Vincent Price,
Price, I think it is. Mm-hmm.
and all the people that have come after them. And Napoleon Hill, he wasn't he was the author of the book, but he wasn't the author of that concept.
Mm-hmm.
You know who's the author of that
So who is
concept?
the
Our
author of the concept?
creator.
Well, that's true,
Our
right?
creator.
Yeah, nothing
Yeah.
about that.
So
Yes.
our creator is the author of those writers were just inspired.
Mm-hmm.
They were
That's
inspired by the creator
that's right.
to, and that information is coming through them out to give to other people.
That's right.
So, and that's what I do. That's just what I do. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the author of this. This stuff isn't new.
Mm-hmm.
For some people, they're just now hearing it,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't, or they may have heard it, but they don't know how to use it. So I get inspired, when I go into meditation, when I go into prayer, it's like, do this D, say that D, and I answer the call
That's
and I
right.
follow it.
Mm. Mm. Being receptive. So I'm hearing, being receptive and really being determined that you're going to stay open to learning and to growing. And I
Yes,
love that, Dee, because as the word does tell us, life and death is in the power of the tongue. But even before we speak it, we've got to think it, right?
yes, yes.
So as an entrepreneur every day, let's get right into this because of course we focus, both you and I focus a lot on entrepreneurship, but you help so many people beyond even entrepreneurs. And you do help men as well, right?
Mostly women. My expertise is for women,
Yes.
and that's who I focus on.
Focus on more. Okay.
Unless everything I do, all my branding is pink. so, so,
Man can get with the pink,
know,
he's good, right?
look, if you're a guy and you don't mind the pink, come on in. I'm not shutting anything down. I'll help whoever shows up if it's a right fit.
Okay, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. So tell us, how important is mindset, especially as it relates to entrepreneurship? How important?
It's everything. Heart Centered Institute is a personal and professional development training company. So I work with individuals and with companies that want to up level. If people that want to up level in their personal life and their career, and with companies who want to up level their employees.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do is, you can't, if there's a bottleneck or a hang up or some area where you're stuck in your career as an entrepreneur or as an employee, it's probably because you need personal development.
That's right.
It's something within you that needs to change,
Mm-hmm.
because you can do everything right
Mm-hmm.
as an entrepreneur and still fail. You could do everything right as an employee and still fail.
Mm-hmm.
If you are stuck, you probably need to up level personally. If you are failing, you need to up level personally. So as an entrepreneur, like you said, it's not for the faint of heart.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You gotta, oh, Pam, you and I have been doing this for a minute. We're not new at this entrepreneur thing. We've been doing this for a couple of decades, right?
Right.
So, and we still, sometimes we hit these walls. We're just like, how do I get over this hurdle,
Get over it.
this obstacle? When many people will quit and go back and get a job.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I think about going back and get a job, I feel physically ill.
Girl, something just comes over you, doesn't it? It's like,
I'm just like, okay, I got to figure this out.
got to figure it out. Why? Because we know that we're brilliant and God has placed inside of us the brilliance and all the tools that we
Yeah.
need to fail forward, right? As they say,
Go
fail
forward.
forward.
I think as an employee, you're limited.
Mm-hmm.
There is you can do these things right here, and you may have some incredible ideas,
Right.
but you can't implement them, or you it's hard for you to grow if
Mm-hmm.
you're an employee. The beauty of entrepreneurship is that you get to decide how
Yes.
fast, how far,
Right.
how
Right.
wide you want
Mm-hmm.
to go. So that's what I love about being an entrepreneur. You get to set the stage
That's
on
right.
what and how high, and you can go as high as your mindset allows you to. So
That's right.
that's where that personal development comes in. It is just like, what do I see?
Mm-hmm.
Here's my visualization today. I'm just going to do this. So I have a visualization that I've been doing for my membership. It is how fast or how big I want to grow it. I have numbers that I want to achieve. And
Mm-hmm.
I do it through visualization, how I visualize. So it says, first see my logo, then see myself opening my membership, then see myself clicking on sales. Then
Mm-hmm.
I see hundreds of people and thousands of people as I scroll down. This is my visualization. This is mindset stuff. This doesn't have anything to do with what customer or client I talk to. This
Mm-hmm.
is me, what I do for
I love
me.
it. I love
This
it. And so you do step by step in terms of how you see that thing unfolding. You just write it
this
down.
is the way I do it,
Mm-hmm.
because if I'm sitting down and I'm meditating, then I just allow. Then I
Mm-hmm.
just allow whatever thoughts to come in and then just let them go. When I'm visualizing, I want to be specific on what I see and what I'm creating.
Mm-hmm.
So in order for me to do that with me, I need a plan. Like, what am I going to see? So that there is no question of what's coming in. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like having a vision board, but the mine is just in order. So
Mm-hmm.
I do have a vision board but the vision board, there's things all over it. You know,
Yeah.
I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that, and it's an overall picture. This here is a process on how I'm doing things step by step. It is how I see it,
Mm-hmm.
just going to my computer, seeing my hand. It says, see myself opening Simplero, which is my platform where my membership is. See myself clicking on cells. And
Mm-hmm.
then when it opens, I see hundreds of people that are listed. And it says, I scroll and scroll and scroll. I
Mm.
scroll and scroll and
Scroll and
scroll.
scroll.
That is what I see. So when I did that this morning, I smiled. I was like, wow, look at all these people that I'm serving.
Mm.
And
Wow.
they're getting all of these things. So the work that I'm doing has meaning.
Wow.
So that's
So
what I'm creating. It feels good.
yes,
That's
yes.
what Napoleon Hill was talking about. That's what Norman
Norman
Vincent
Vincent
Price,
Peale. Norman Vincent Peale. Mm-hmm.
Norman Vincent Peale was talking about. This is your plan. And you always say, create your plan. And what did you say?
Plan
Create
your
your plan.
plan your work and work your plan is what other people. Yes, I got it from somewhere. I can't take credit for it, but it works. It works. It
Yeah.
works. So, with your membership, can you tell us like the top three benefits of being a part of your membership? Because I'm learning just sitting here, and you and you've shared some visualization with me before, but I don't think you shared that with me before, like the steps and you writing it out, right? We've talked about the overall concept of visualization.
Yeah.
So tell us about some benefits of your program.
The benefits of, well, Mind Shift Membership is the name of the membership program. So we call it MSM.
Mm-hmm.
And the purpose is to help people dress their mind with goodness every day. Like when you get up in the morning, you put clothes on, and Pam, you look fabulous today. You look good every day. So
Mm-hmm.
you put some thought into your earrings, what top you're going to wear, the jacket, and all of that. What looks the best on me, right? What looks best on camera? Um, We need to do that with our mindset.
Mm.
So the mindset membership helps you with that. So I teach people things like this on the membership.
Okay.
Every day you get an email that you open up, you click on it, takes you to the membership, and you're getting a message from me, information, motivation, and information, inspiration, and motivation, 365 days.
Wow.
So you're getting that 3 to 7 minutes of that. Then every week I'm actually leading you through a guided meditation, a mindfulness meditation, or hypnosis. So you get those and you can download them. There's also every month there is a video from me giving you some more inspiration, information, or motivation. So for the people who are audio learners, there's information. For the people who are visual learners, there's information. And there's also things in there for you to download, checklist, worksheets, all of those things in there for for the people who are tactile learners.
Yes,
So if you
yes.
want to watch a video and then work through the worksheet, all of those things are on there, and they're all meant to change this so that you can be that amazing entrepreneur that you want to be, so you can move beyond the limit. If you thought you can only make $50,000 a year,
Right.
this Mindship membership is going to help you make 55, 60, 70. So you keep moving outside of your comfort zone until when you know this comfort zone, this is what we move in right here.
Right,
What
right.
if it's this? What if it's this? What if it's this? Keep moving it out. So what I tell people is that you don't have to be out here right now.
Right.
You work your way. You move what's comfortable right now until this is just normal. This is good. And then that right there is a little scary. And then you step out and then you work in it. It's not so scary.
Right.
And then you keep moving that. And then you just go like this. And then when you have thousands of people in your membership or thousands of people as your clients, when you're selling thousands of products, when you're serving hundreds of people, whatever you decide and I know you work with coaches. So what do you want as a coach? Who do you serve as a coach? Get clear on that. When you get up in the morning, how are you dressing your mind? What are you saying to yourself? Are you saying, I hope I get a client today, or I'm going to have 3 consultations or more a day?
Right.
This is what I'm going to say to them. Write that down. And then what do they say when they go, Pam, I want you as my coach. How do I sign up? How are you going to feel?
That is so powerful. And you know what I really appreciate, and this is the first time you and I are really, we talk about so much, right? But it's like this epiphany just happened. It's like, wow, what you do is so, so critical, because as a people, we typically focus on tasks because it's something that we can do, right?
Yeah.
The mind is something we can't see, but you're helping us to actually see what we're thinking and make those thoughts better.
Yeah.
And that's powerful. And, we just get so busy doing, but your program, it helps us stop and say, here are some tools to help you work on what you cannot see. Right?
Yeah, it is. It's starting as entrepreneurs, we need to be disciplined.
That's right.
Or you're not going to succeed. So we leave out this part, our attitude. How are you making that more disciplined to think of the best case scenario? And when something happens, and things will happen in your business and in your life, how long do you stay in that low? The Mindshift membership helps you realize you're in a low and get the lesson from that low so that you can recover quicker. It's not saying that you will never have a low, because that's not realistic. You have them.
Right.
But when you recover, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to show up in life.
That's right.
What are you going to do after that? That's
Mm-hmm.
what mind shift does. It is helping you. It's a discipline, and like you said, see things that you can't see.
Mm-hmm.
We are not our bodies. We are not our minds. Because if you can hear what you think, then that's not you. The
Mm-hmm.
soul is hearing what the thoughts are saying. So that
Mm.
means that you, the soul, have control over those thoughts. The thoughts don't have control over you. I know that's a little
Mm.
deep now, but just
I know, but come on, you
listen
come
back
on,
to
come
this.
on with it now. This is good stuff. This is real good stuff. I'm like, woo wee, good stuff, y'all. Y'all can see, y'all got to have a partner, a writing partner like Dee Woolridge. I'm telling you, she takes me there
If you
every
can
single
think it,
time.
you can change it, because you
Mm.
are not your thoughts.
You are not your thoughts.
You are
Someone
not
type
your
in the comment. You
thoughts.
are not your thoughts. I
You are
love
not
that.
your thoughts, because if you were your thoughts, you wouldn't be able to change them.
That's right. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. You are not your thoughts. Someone asked a question. I'm not sure what that question is, but if you can tell us your name. Thank you for joining us, by the way. We thank you. And I see Betty in the house. Hello there, Betty. And this, it says Facebook user. So, Facebook user who wrote Norman Vincent worksheet, please tell us what you're asking, please, so that Dee can answer. So please put that in comments for us. And I am going to say, you are not your thoughts.
No.
Mm. And then you said something else. You said you have the power. You have the power to change them.
Yes.
You have the power to change us. So tell us more. Let me see. Someone, they just commented. Um, okay, thank you. They're helping me out. I appreciate you, whoever you are. Thank you. It's like having an angel over your shoulder. It's like you
Yeah.
speak it and it happens,
Yeah.
right? So thank you for putting that. You are not your thoughts. Okay. So Dee, with your program, how do we find out more about the program? If people are interested, I mean, because it really, I mean, 365 days of this beautiful voice.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a superpower. Like I said, um, I just want to share this really quickly. Something
Please.
that I was doing with someone. I just did it. Also in this membership are courses,
Hmm.
and I'm adding a new course every month, or two every month. So I just finished this course on. We're talking about chakras, the energy centers in the body, and the throat chakra is all about communication. So I saw this guy, it was years ago, who could draw um, pictures of how he saw your chakras. And he drew mine as a cape, my throat chakra as a cape. Then he
Hmm.
says, I've never drawn anything like this before. Does this make sense to you? And I started laughing, and I go, well, I use my voice is my job. So I'm a singer,
Hmm.
and I was there about 7 years ago. I was a semi-professional singer. I got paid to sing. And I did recordings and voiceovers, and hypnosis was part of it. So, and I speak on stage, so I could see why my throat chakra would look like a cape because it's part of who I am. So 365 days of my voice. I hope you enjoy the things that I'm making for you. They're set in beautiful music. And
Hmm.
there's also these courses that you can take, just like the one that I was talking about, chakra. So there's a lot of information on that. So how do they get it? They can go to, if you just want to check out the courses,
Hmm.
you can go to
Hmm.
membership.deewoolridge.com, and you can check out the courses for free without joining anything. But if you're interested and you want to jump right into this 365 days of MSM, then just go to msm.deewoolridge.com.
Okay. MSM.
Dot
Dee Woolridge.
deewoolridge.com. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, and
I'm gonna.
that'll take you to the sign up page. So
Okay.
some people want to kick the tires before they go in. And like I said, that's totally fine. That's why I have the free the courses that you can take. There's some from me, and there's also some other contributors on the site that said, Dee, I love what you're doing. I want to contribute.
Okay.
And you can take some of their courses on there. Pam, your planning system is on there, so people can go on there if they don't know
Mhm.
about your plan. If y'all don't know about Pamela's planning system, I don't know where you've been. You need to go and
Thank
get
you
this
for
planning
that.
system. Yeah.
Yes. Is that correct? The membership.deewoolridge.com
DeeWoolridge.com.
or msm.deewoolridge.com. Okay, great, great,
Yes.
great.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. That person did come back and they said Norman Vincent worksheet. I'm thinking that they were thinking that what you have written may be a formula or a worksheet of Norman Vincent Peale. No, I just brought
No,
up Norman Vincent Peale.
no.
I brought up Norman Vincent Peale because I have been doing a little research and I came across some of his work. And so I just wanted to ask Dee her insights on that. But the work that Dee is doing and what she presented is her work, and that has come from her expertise and how she lives her life. And I am a witness of how she lives her life because I've actually had to sleep with the woman. Okay, we were roommates.
We
we
were
were
good roomies.
we
That
were
was
great
so much fun.
roomies. You were great
Yeah.
roomie, I'm telling you.
I'm looking
And
forward
so,
to doing that again after Corona.
yes, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
Yeah.
But I witnessed firsthand of how you start your mornings off, your mindfulness, your meditations, your affirmations. Every single morning, that's how Dee started her morning off. And actually, I'm like, I need to do some of that, right? So you had me coming back home, creating new habits for myself, even, right? In
Yeah.
terms of how I started my day off. I thought I had an okay start to my day, some pretty good habits, but you up leveled me when I saw how you started your day. Let's see.
You got to get the mind right. You do. And then the body. I mean, it's just like when I had a program called LOL Life Live Out Loud, and where I would help people organize their categories in their life,
Okay.
and they didn't know where to start. And I asked them if they had a connection to Source or to God, and if they did, I go start there.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have a spiritual practice, put that first,
That's right.
because that's all about the mindset. Some people say, well, I exercise, I exercise first. You still have to be motivated and inspired to do that. Where does that motivation and that inspiration come from?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the first thing I do is I feed my mind, and then I work the body, and then everything else comes after that.
Wow. Feed your mind first, then you work the body.
Yeah. So if it's meditation, if is that what you do, if that's how you connect to the beyond or whatever that is, I say God, I say Source, because I'm not ashamed that I believe in God.
Mm-hmm.
So um so my spirituality and my connection with God is first. So I do that with just 5 minutes of quiet meditation.
Mm-hmm.
So some people go into prayer.
Mm-hmm.
So I say prayer is talking to God, but meditation is listening to God.
That's good. That's good, Dee.
Yeah, because you can talk and then get up and go,
That's right.
but you never hear your answer if you're
Mhm.
not quiet.
If you're not quiet and don't take the time to do it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Take the time to listen.
Yeah.
So praying is talking to
Talking
God,
to God.
and meditation is
Meditation is listening.
listening to God, just
Mhm.
being still in a
Yep.
quiet moment.
Yep.
So this individual, oh, they came in on the end of the conversation, Dee. So
Okay.
what Dee was sharing was her methodology. And so you want to learn more about her methodology, go to the msm.deewoolridge.com and you can learn more about it. I'm telling you, she is just absolutely incredible. And she comes up with something every single day. There's something new. Okay, I can tell her every day, Dee, what you working on today? What tools, what methodology? She's heavy into methodology. She's created her own methodologies, and
Hmm.
she's a phenomenal trainer, as you can well see. So you definitely want to go on and learn more about her MSM program and the work that she is doing, because it's absolutely phenomenal. So Dee, tell us, we've been talking about, the power of the mind and the tools, right? So how can positive thinking change your life? So people are saying, okay, so yeah, I hear you. I need to, kind of get quiet. I need to think. I need to meditate. But how can positive thinking change your life?
Okay, so I'm going to give you two answers, one and from my own experience and one from my clients.
Okay.
So some of the things that I've done for myself because of the power of positive thinking is that I live every day and I overcome obstacles every
Yeah,
day.
you do.
So it is because the mind will do what I say, what I agree to. So if my mind says, D, you can't do this, and I agree to that, then guess what? I don't do it. But if my mind is saying, D, we can do this, we can get through it, and I agree to that,
Mm-hmm.
then that's what we're going to do. So just remind yourself, what are you agreeing to every day? Because remember, you're not your thoughts.
That's
And
right.
if you don't like what you're thinking, change it. Keep
Mm,
changing it. Say you're a lie. If it's telling you something you don't like,
right.
say, I don't like that. Say,
Mm.
shut up. Like, say, shut up. I don't like that. Tell me something good.
Right.
Be my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would your best friend say? Use the power of positive thinking as a best friend. So, if your best friend is putting you down, you need another best friend,
You need
right?
a friend like Dee Woolridge. Yes, I
No,
agree.
so that's how I use it in my own life is, I've overcome so many things, breast cancer, raising a child with autism, having a husband that was deployed, getting through 30 years in the military, coming from the kind of family and the upbringing that I have, still facing um, obstacles in my life as an entrepreneur, so I get through that with saying that, okay, God, what do I need to do right now?
That's right.
I'm facing these obstacles. Am I facing these obstacles because of what I believe or because I'm not listening to you?
Mm.
So
Ooh,
there's one
that's
of
good.
those. So because I may want to do this thing and God may want me to go this other way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which
Mm-hmm.
is what happened when you and I were talking. I was like, okay, God. And the other thing is I've seen my clients come from being victims, grew up being, things that experiencing trauma as children, and then growing up with that trauma and showing up in the world as a victim to changing to I'm not a victim. I understand why that happened so that I can stand on the story instead of in it, so that I
Mm.
can raise a child, so that I can be a good partner in a marriage, so that I can be whatever it is I want to be. I've seen my clients have go from being infertile to having not just one child, but two children. I've seen
Wow.
my clients um, overcome illnesses. I've seen them overcome just obstacle after obstacle
Mm-hmm.
and just grow into these amazing people that they always been.
Mm-hmm.
So I say, when they first come to me, I already see them as perfect, whole, and complete as God sees them.
Mm-hmm.
My job is to help them return to that love. So there's one problem and one solution. The problem is separation from God, or the mindset that you are separate and not good enough. And the solution is to return to that love, to return to God, and to return to that positive, whole, perfect, and complete person. So that's the power of positive thinking. That's all I do is just use different techniques and tools to help people remember that they're whole, perfect, and complete.
Mm-hmm. Wow, Dee. Wow, that is so. The only word I can say is powerful. That's the only thing I can't say, especially today with what we're facing. So many people need you, Dee. So many people need the work that you're doing. So please, people, share the work that Dee is doing. Share her website, msm.dwoolridge.com. We need to, we need um, the work. We need your methodologies. I promise you, y'all, if y'all have a Dee Woolridge in your life,
I've had some good teachers,
it's
Pamela,
incredible.
you and I, we met through
Mhm.
Lisa Nichols, who was
That's
both
right.
of our coach.
That's right.
And, she doesn't mess around. She teaches you and changes you and transforms you.
That's right.
So it is, we, um, when the student's ready, the teacher appears,
Right.
and we find our right teachers.
Mhm.
And I knew that I couldn't see everyone one-on-one, but I can create something where they can get some of the knowledge.
That's right. That's right.
So in this membership, everything I know is poured into this membership. And
Mhm.
I have so much. I have like years of content that I just need time to get it in there. That's the
Right.
only thing that's stopping me from getting it in there, is just the time to do it.
The time to do
So
it.
this membership is just going to constantly grow as I
Mhm.
have those 20, 30 years of content put into it.
That's
And then
right.
I don't have to coach everyone one-on-one. They can get what I know there.